Hello there, Michaelers. Pearl Jr. here. I hope everyone's doing fine. It's a quiet, windy day here in Los Angeles, California, and I am coming to you from the Skin Butter Store. Boy, let me turn that down. Let me see if I turn it down. If it's still streaky, because the light, I can turn it down some. There we go. Coming to you from the Skin Butter Store here in North Hollywood, California, where we sell the best shea butter on earth. And not only that, we have the largest selection of fragrant shea body butters. Always check the website. I'm always adding new fragrances. I just told our webmaster to add in what I call Hannah's B-Day suit, which is Rihanna nude, smells most like Rihanna's nude, and Forgot the Dream, question mark, Forgot the Dream maybe, question mark, and that's based on, or smells most like, Versace's Dreamers. So please go on the website. Plus we have Coco Chanel, we have Dolce & Gabbana, we have Flower Bomb, we have 1 Million, we have Blue Day Chanel, we have Dior Sauvage, we have Miss Dior. All those are dupes that are transformed into oils, and they are infused in our organic, raw, natural shea butter, and it is fabulous for the skin, and you smell great all day. Okay, so stays all day shea. Let's do work and play, because every body has skin. Okay, so let's get to some Michael news. Okay, lots going on. First of all, somebody's trying to hack my Facebook. I got a notification that somebody just tried to hack my Facebook, and Facebook sent me, but we stopped them. I don't know who that was. And also somebody's trying to sign into my computer at home. Okay, just stop, y'all. I mean, I tell you what I know, right? You know what I know. All right. So anyway, we got first, rest in peace to Val Kilmer. Oh my God, he did a great job playing. We're going to talk about another biopic. This is one of my favorite biopics, which is about the Doors. Jim Morrison, and Val Kilmer kicked it out the park with his portrayal of Jim Morrison. He's also with Superman, and my favorite was his character in Tombstone. Oh my God, when he had tuberculosis, he was all sick. You thought he was on his deathbed and all that, and then he comes out around the tree and he says, "I'll be your huckleberry." Oh my God, that was one of my favorite lines of any movie, right? So rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I know you gave that throat cancer hell, right? And apparently he died of pneumonia. And that's what my mother died of, pneumonia, August 25th, 2015. Very unfortunate day. But, you know, thank you for the Top Gun. Thank you, Val Kilmer. Thank you for these iconic roles that are just so memorable. Thank you. Good job. All right. Birthdays now. Okay, we're going to talk about the Michael biopic. Some news was released about an hour or so ago. Okay, we're going to talk about the Michael biopic. Brandon Howard. It is Brandon Howard's birthday today. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. And Brandon usually sends me a message of happy birthday on my birthday too. So I wanted to sing to him his cousin, because Janice said Stevie Wonder. That's Stevie Wonder's song, Happy Birthday. It's supposed to be the Jacksons' cousin. Nobody ever explained how he's related to the Jacksons. But one note, he was born, my family, it has ties to Saginaw, Michigan. And that's where Stevie Wonder's from. And Saginaw, Michigan, our family owned the Blacks funeral home. That was my dad's family's last name was Black. And they owned the Blacks funeral home, and Stevie Wonder was born across the street from there. So that's just a little tidbit of information. Saginaw, you know, the funeral home is dilapidated, but I think the family still owns it, but it's not worth very much. So happy birthday to Brandon Howard. Brandon, how old are you now? I think Brandon was born in 82, because that's when Billie Jean came out, right? 81 or 82. And let's see, when is this says? Early life. Brandon was born. How come they don't give your birthday here, Brandon? On Wikipedia. Wikipedia always puts the birthdays. Oh my goodness. Wow, Brandon has produced a lot of songs. Let me show you guys real quick. Okay. And everything that I have researched, Brandon is Michael Jackson's biological child, and Billie Jean is a true story, and Brandon is that son in Billie Jean. Every single solitary thing matches. So here's his producing and songwriting credits: Drew Hill, Marquise Houston, Genuine, Levert, Johnny Gill, and I think Keith Sweat. Okay, it's LSG. Let's see, Brooke Valentine, Lupe Fiasco, Neo, Howard Hewitt. Oh my goodness. Let's close that. Howard Hewitt, come on. Let's see, Tachina Arnold. Let's see, she was on Martin, an actress, but she can sing too. Bow Wow, Vanessa Hudgens. I mean, he's just really had a great run. LaToya, he produced LaToya's single, and Corey Feldman, Fabio. Thank you, Brandon. And his vocals are here. He also did a song with, it was TJ and Terrell. Let's see, and then his song Supermodel. So thank you, Brandon. And everything that I have researched has told me that Brandon is Michael's child. You see it in a live 3. You can go to a live a live 4. I think I covered it in a live 4. We're going to be working on a live 5 soon, but we want to release it around the time that the Michael biopic comes out. But before I get to that, tomorrow is Paris Jackson's birthday. So Paris, why isn't your birthday on Wikipedia, Brandon? You know you were born April 2nd, 1982, right? Let me double check that. Brandon Howard birthday, because you know everything matches with his birthday. The Billie Jean, Michael wanted to mimic the streets of Chicago, and Mickey's from Chicago. Joe was her manager. Mickey lived at the house at the time of conception where Michael lived. And Marlon said recently that Billie Jean was a singer. Mickey's a singer. Mickey Howard did beauty contests, and the first line is she's more like a beauty queen. I mean, it all Billie Holiday, because her favorite artist was Billie Holiday. It all matches. He looks like Michael. He sounds like Michael. He talks like Michael. He grew up in the house, and they hid him. Okay, they hid him. So that tells it all right then and there. Because if he was a little kid that grew up in the house, how come he can't be in family pictures? Omar is. Omar is not, he's just a kid that Michael thought was a talented dancer that he met in Tunisia, I think, when Omar was like 11 or 12 years old, around that time. And Omar is in pictures. Brandon's not. You know why? Because they were hiding him. And why were they hiding him? Because he's the real biological son of Michael Jackson. Everything matches. Everything matches. Okay? And Michael even said around that time of Billie Jean that it's based on a true story. Okay? Then he wanted to back up off it after a while and distance himself and then tell the fables. Oh, it was about groupies. No, it ain't. Don't say nothing about groupies. It just says that a girl tried to get you pregnant 40 days, 40 nights. You said it ain't mine, until you saw the eyes that looked like yours. Oh no, the lie became the truth. Okay, so it's all just there. And Michael says me, I, we, he's talking about himself, is biographical. Okay, so Brandon Howard age. Okay, Brandon Howard birthday. You know, why are they hiding it? You know what I mean? Why is it hidden, Brandon? Why is it hidden? Okay, because they don't want people to match it up. Okay, 1980. Brandon Howard, the singer, was born June 29th, 1981. What the heck? That is not true. That's not true. Okay. Oh, that's Brandon's birthday is April 2nd. Okay, so see, they trying to confuse it. You know, I don't know, Brandon. AI is all wrong. Born June 29th, 1981. That is not Brandon Howard's birthday. Okay, Mother Mickey Howard, Fort Worth, Texas. Brandon was born where? Here, either in California or in Chicago, in Illinois. Brandon Howard's birthday, April 2nd. Here we go. Brandon's birthday is April 2nd, 1982, like I said. And, he says dance till 3. No, he said baby was next to 3. Okay. And the album came out in 81 and you had to record it before that. And Brandon would have been 2. Next to 3 is 2. It just all matches. Okay. But anyway, so, and it says Augie is his father. No, he isn't. Augie was there with the Jacksons. Okay. Because Augie's in the background credits of Off the Wall as a background singer. So it's all there. And Augie's the pretend dad. He's the cover up dad. Okay. But anyway, so, and then here, underneath here, it says he's born in 81. Okay. Brandon, somebody's messing with your stats, baby, because they don't want people to put it together. Okay. They messing with your birthday. Okay. So if you were born, so that makes you 44. 43 or 44. 43 or 44. Okay, but they keep it all whatever just to kind of keep everybody confused, but that's the biological son. Paris, on the other hand, is going to be 27. Oh my gosh. She is born 1998. Yep, she's going to be 27 years old tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, boy, time sure has flown past, right? All right, let's see. Peter, Michael, Bobby. Okay, you guys know. Behind the Peter Madani Facebook is Michael Jackson and Bobby Anderson. Bobby Anderson is the front for Michael Jackson, the decoy. So if anybody says, oh, Peter's not Michael, Bobby Anderson jumps up, no, it's been me the whole time, blah, blah, blah. That's all set up. Because if you want to see the facts, proof, evidence, and clues that is Michael Jackson behind that account most of the time, at least years ago. Now it's mostly Bobby because Michael's busy with the biopic, and we're going to talk about some biopic news in a minute. And we're also I finished watching Leaving Neverland too. Got to hear and I also watched the Piers Morgan interview too. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a minute. All right, so Peter and the Supreme Court. So Peter posted that he has a case that's going to be heard in front of the Supreme Court. He didn't say anything else. At least last time I checked, he didn't say anything else. So give us more information. That's just not enough. Okay, that's just not enough. Okay, information for us to check and verify. And thank you for saying I look lovely, because I'm going to be 62 soon. Oh my God, next month. 62. Well, thank you, God. You either get older or you don't. Okay, so I'm grateful that I feel as good as I do. I'm as healthy as I am. Knock, knock on wood. Knock, knock on wood. Knock, knock on wood. Okay, that I will have a birthday, in a month and a few days. Okay, so those happy birthdays. Okay, Michael Jackson biopic news. Okay, biopic news. They're thinking about splitting the movie into 2 because it's almost 4 hours. That's 4 times 6 is 240 minutes. That's just kind of unheard of, sitting in a theater that long. You would need to have a break. Like part 1, go get some popcorn, go use the bathroom, blah, blah, and then come back and watch the part 2. That's an all day thing. Or are they going to release part 1 and then a month or a couple months later, part 2. They're working it out. They're trying to work it out. Now, I have written a biopic about Mike, not a biopic. I have written a dramatic series. Okay. It's a dramatic series. And it is, oh my God, I got 11 episodes and I don't even have everything in it. You know, I kind of didn't get into Debbie Rowe and Prince in Paris, and I didn't get into BG. I just kind of made it news articles and didn't really break down what I know, what Debbie has testified to about what happened, all that stuff. And also what happened with excuse me, what happened with BG and all this stuff, because I have attended so many court cases that I have a lot of information to draw from. Okay, so, and I know that mine is 11 hours, okay, and I don't even have everything in it, okay, so mine would probably end up being more like maybe a 21-hour series that would might go 2 seasons, you know, or 1 season with 10, 11 episodes, somewhere like that, or an hour an episode, 21 episodes, but it's a lot to get through. And mine starts, of course, at the funeral. It starts at the funeral, but then it backtracks to Michael and Mexico and the threat of being arrested. And I can talk about the Jordy Chandler case. He cannot. And that's been one of the holdups. The 94 settlement, it was January 94, but it's 93 allegations. The NDA, or the settlement agreement that they signed, said that Michael can't talk about that case. So all these, like when they were talking about MJ the musical, and they were saying, oh, it doesn't talk about the allegations and it glosses over it, act like it doesn't exist, it ended before it happened. Well, there's legal reasons for that, okay? But me, as an independent writer, I can talk about that stuff. And I go deep into it because I was in, a lot of you guys may not know, I was inside of the 2005 trial. And I'm one of 200 people that were credentialed to sit there in live and watch the testimony and hear the testimony and pull from the testimony and get so much information. Debbie Rowe testified in that. So I got information to draw a great story around what happened through her own mouth. The Katherine versus AEG live trial, the whole trial wasn't televised. I think the verdict day or closing arguments was televised, but but the whole trial wasn't. But I went to the courtroom. I was in the courtroom when Debbie Rowe testified. She gave a lot of information, a lot of backup information. So I got stories to tell that I had not even put in there because I was feeling a little weird about the story. But now I feel like, you know what, the public deserves to know the truth, right? And I'm not sure if I've been blacklisted by major media or not, because they don't like me telling the truth. Which could include Michael, and it could include the whole family. They don't want the truth out there. I want the truth out there because I don't think the truth of Michael Jackson is something that's worthy of hiding. You know, I know, at least I can kind of feel why he hid Brandon, why he didn't really hide him though. I mean, Billie Jean is Michael's #1 song. #1. It's probably the #1 song in the whole wide world, you know, and it's really the story of Brandon. You know, but then Michael wanted to say, it's not my son, he's not my son, not my son, not my son, not my son. I wonder how many times he says it in the song. Probably 50 or 70 times he probably says it in the song. I've never counted. But he does admit in the song, lie became the truth, and the eyes look just like mine. Oh no. Okay, 40 days and 40 nights, pregnancy, right? So anyway, so happy birthday, Brandon. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And happy birthday, Paris, tomorrow, because I'm not coming live tomorrow. So happy birthday. All right. So now let's talk about the Leaving Neverland 2. Oh my God. I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I had first watched the first 11 minutes and then I wrote some commentary on it. It's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. What James is sitting there saying, little James, this is James talking about himself in the third person, little James, and he looks so inauthentic. He looks like he's acting. Then he says, I just want this to be over. I just want this to be over. You can end it at any time. Drop out the lawsuit. What do you mean? Somebody's putting you up to it? I mean, what do you mean you can't wait for this to be over? It's going on forever and ever and ever. Well, just drop out because you know you lying, right? Wade and his just, oh my God, ungenuine self, okay? With these little quippy little lines that sound good, you know? We've already discredited them in the whole saga up to the first Leaving Neverland, where we found 60 lies, and they're on my YouTube page. Okay, first is 40 lies, then 60 lies, because I kept finding more lies, right? So there's no truth when there's 60 lies surrounding it. The truth can go all around the world, but the truth is still the truth, right? You know, so if there's 60 lies affiliated with their whole Michael molested me fairy tale fantasy child pornography story of then there's no truth to it, because you don't have to lie if it's truthful, right? All right. So with Leaving Neverland, okay, the case started in 2013. Just to give you a little thing, Wade run out of money. He didn't get the job as the choreographer for the Circus Soleil show. He got mad. He wrote a fantasy book. No publishers would do it. Then he got a lawyer and he started the lawsuit. Okay. Now the first lawyer, it's so ridiculous. He's all throughout the LN2. He's all throughout it, but he ain't even a part of the case anymore. I mean, it just becomes ridiculous. Okay. He's not even a part of the case anymore. There's new lawyers. So it's been dismissed twice. First time for statute of limitations, and then it went on appeal and they lost the appeal. And then when the statute of limitations extended to where people can say they were molested as children, then there was another lawsuit filed, and it's against the Michael Jackson companies. And what they're saying is, and it's a really twisted thing, is that somebody in Michael Jackson company should have stopped Michael Jackson from molesting them. Okay? I don't know how that's possible when they never saw the molestation. They never saw it, but they're supposed to stop Michael from hanging around kids. So, I mean, he has freedom, and it's not against the law to hang around kids. And then they keep saying sleeping in the bed with them. Michael slept on the floor. He shared his bed, which meant he gave the kids his bed while he slept in the floor. Now, Piers Morgan with Rabbi Smooley, some guy I don't know, I've never heard of, and Bill Winfield, who was Michael's one of 3 bodyguards that were with Michael while he was in Vegas from 2006 to 2008. They did not come to Los Angeles when Michael left Vegas and moved to Carrollwood, which was in November of 2008, because Linda, the maps lady, told me that Michael was moving into that house in Carrollwood, and I was the first person to report that Michael was moving into that house in Carrollwood. Okay, why these people don't come to me, a factual person who tells the truth, I have no idea. Okay, you guys need to help me out and write to some of these people and tell them I am the most vetted, the most honest reports, the most factual news on Michael Jackson for the past 20 years. Okay, past 20 years since I was credentialed media in this 2005 trial. 20 years now. Okay, our anniversary was February 28th. So I've been reporting on Michael for 25 years in a month. Okay, that's a lot of reporting. Okay, I have over 800 videos, news reports on Michael. I got 5 documentaries. I got a short film, and I have a 115,000 word e-movie book. I mean, and I've attended more trials than any other reporter. Okay, so I am the authority, but for whatever reason, they don't want me to tell the truth, or they is whoever they are. Okay, so you guys should help me out on that. Okay, so so then it went to appeals after they reignited the case with the new statute of limitations, and it got dismissed again. Then after it got dismissed, it went to appeal, and the appeals court pretty much said, well, perhaps somebody should have stopped them. Okay, so then they put it back to the lower court, which means now they can have a trial. Now it can go to trial. It was supposed to go to trial in 2026. Tom Mesereau, according to Leaving Neverland 2, is the attorney. I know Mesereau. I talked to Mesereau. Mesereau and I have talked on the phone. We haven't talked for a few years, but I know Mesereau pretty well, and I'm glad he's on the case. Now, when Mesereau went for the hearing, because there's always pre-trial hearings, he said he needed 3 years to prepare for the case. Okay, so now we're looking at a 2027 date, or 2026. I don't know, but it was 3 years at the time. So we'll see. Oh, I wrote it down. Oh, the trial is supposed to be November 2026. Okay, that's when there's supposed to be a trial, unless it's postponed or delayed or vacated or whatever. John stands up here. What's his first name? Mr. stands up here. He's a lawyer for the estate. He does a really good job. So he's helping him and Tom Mesereau together. But anyway, they're suing Michael Jackson's company, saying somebody in the company should have stopped Michael from molesting kids. Well, nobody in the company saw the molestation, so I'm really kind of confused about that. Okay, Michael, and one thing people don't talk about is Michael slept in the bed with his brothers. It's no big deal. Okay, it doesn't mean sex. You gotta look at somebody through their own lens, right? Through their own perspective. Michael and his brothers shared beds all the time when they were growing up, right? They had triple-decker bunk beds, one on each side, but until they got big enough, they shared beds. When they went out of town and they toured for years before they got signed to Motown, they shared beds all the time. Michael's bedroom is huge. They would have popcorn and get comfortable, and one would fall asleep on the floor, on the bed, going this way, another one this way, and another one on the floor. And Michael would get up and make a pallet on the floor because he had a bad back, and he would sleep on the floor and leave them to the bed, or they would go to bed and he would go and he would rehearse, right? And Michael wanted to relive his childhood, and plus Michael was sexually harassed all the time, right? So since he was always sexually harassed by men and women and little girls had crushes, you know. Michael, where he can get away with that was prepubescent boys. That's how he could get away from that type of attention. And that's why he hung around them for pure, just fun, just for a release and to relive the childhood he thought he missed. But he didn't really miss his childhood. He worked, but he wanted to work. But he had his brothers and sisters to play with all the time. But hey, he can do what he wants to do, and he's a kid at heart, and he has a child's heart. So that's why he liked hanging around kids, because they gave him inspiration. Let's see. So, let's see. The first trial date was supposed to be February 2024, which is already passed. So that's why it's 2026, November, about 3 years. Okay. LN2 did not address any of the lies that we have exposed. At one point, they showed, remember how they did one scene with James in his lanai, his patio, his covered patio, lanai, and the bushes were at a certain level. And then when he wanted to tell Me and Michael Got Married story, the bushes had grown, right? So you know it was a pickup for months later. You don't forget to tell that when you're trying to accuse somebody of molestation. You don't forget the wedding date and the ring, especially since he still had the ring. Okay, so come on. So anyway, they cut out, Dan, you know, you heard us. They cut out the bushes in the back. They trimmed the piece, right? They're just so ridiculous. Okay, and let's see what else. Let's see what my other notes are. Let's see if I have some more notes. Okay. Oh, this new lawyer for Wade and James. Oh, I know what MJ did. Oh, okay. I'm glad you know what he did, because molesting the kids has never, ever, ever been proven. So unless you have camera footage, a video, because Victor Gutierrez, the nasty, sick guy that Michael sued and won millions, who went back to, I don't know, South America somewhere because he couldn't pay and he was proven a liar. Michael sued him. If there's a tape of me molesting a kid, I'm going to sue you to get it. Give it to me. Where's the tape? Where's the tape? You don't sue somebody for a tape, right? Right? Of a crime, unless you know you didn't do the crime. Right? 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 So Michael won that, and that was a defamation case. Okay? So, and DNA. There's no proof of any child's DNA and Michael's DNA in any kind of sexual thing. And plus, Wade and James and Dan, they think by saying it's salacious child porno things, right, that makes it more true. And it doesn't make it more true. And then there was one person, and she says, well, I can't verify because I didn't see it, but Jordy's description of Michael's penis matched. Oh, so they got a warrant to photograph Michael's penis to see if it matched, found out it matched, and did nothing. Didn't arrest him. I mean, it's a crime. You can't pay people off for a crime, okay? So you know these people are full of it, because when she said, well, I didn't see it. Well, of course you didn't see it, because if it matched, that was the whole point of getting the subpoena, to see if it matched. So, of course, it didn't match, because if it matched, they would have arrested him right then and there. Or days later. Okay, they never arrested him. Okay, and no amount of any settlement that Michael's cancellation insurance for being on tour paid. Okay, Michael had cancellation insurance. He went to rehab. They gave him money for canceling his tour. And that's the money that was used to pay the Jordy Chandler settlement. Michael just wanted it to go away. It was very embarrassing. It was the worst thing that had ever happened to him. Okay, period. Right? So Michael was embarrassed. It's embarrassing. My God, it's embarrassing. You wanted to just stop. And Michael was so ambitious. He just wanted to get back to work. Pleasing the people, entertaining the people, getting the adulation that made him feel so loved and so good. You know? So he wanted that to go away. Okay. Let's see. Anyway, and then they talked about the estate's trying to not let Wade and James' case be heard. Well, who wants that? Why would they want that out? Okay, but anyway, you're going to lose, Wade and James. I could defend that case, okay, and win, right? Right? Because there's so many lies that you have told, and you perjured yourselves, okay? You either perjuring yourself now or you perjure yourself later. How can anybody believe? And then to think for one moment Michael's going to have as his first defense witness a kid he molested from age 7 to 14. He's going to have him as the first witness. I mean, come on. Come on. You wouldn't want that kid anywhere around, okay? James didn't even testify. They didn't even need him in the 2005 trial. But him and his parents would have testified Michael never did anything. They never saw anything inappropriate. Then they go into Michael spent 30 days in a room with Jordy Chandler. You know, Michael had a crush on his mama. Okay, June. That's what that was all about. The little girl was there too. So was June. June was there too. So I don't know about this 30-day thing. You know, I don't know. Every day for 30 days. Who would allow that? Okay, so now let's get to Piers Morgan show. Leaving Neverland is a flop on YouTube. Didn't even get distribution here in the United States. Okay, YouTube.com. Okay, YouTube.com. Okay, and let's do Leaving Neverland 2. And the full documentary has, I bet you, if it has 70,000 views, it has 68,000 views in 2 weeks. 68,000 views. That's it. And the hoster, the one that hosts this, the YouTube channel, has 6.5 million subscribers. 6.5 million subscribers. So 650,000 views would be 10%. So 65,000 views is only 1% of the people who have signed up to know what this website, this channel talks about, have watched Leaving Neverland too. Because it's boring, it doesn't make any sense, and people don't believe it anymore. Okay, now, but you know what's interesting is the Piers Morgan. Piers. He spells his name different. Piers Morgan. Yeah, Piers. Like more than one pier of a beach. Piers. He spells it Piers Morgan. And he was with Rabbi Smooley. Where is it? It was 2 weeks ago. Rabbi Smooley. Bill Whitfield, and I got something good to say about Bill Whitfield, and it has another guy that I've never even heard of. I don't even know how he might, something joke or I don't know. Let's see, Michael Jackson. Let's go. Oh, and Dan Reed was on it. Leaving Neverland. Okay, this is the crazy stat, right? 68,000 views, right? So this one, Piers's channel, Piers Morgan Uncensored. You guys should write to him. He should interview me.
Trading and investing.
He should interview me. You guys should do a campaign and say he should interview me, Pearl Jr. I got all the accurate information. He has 3.8 million subscribers, so almost half, a little more than half of what that other channel has, right? Subscriber. In that interview that he did with it's Bill Whitfield, it is Rabbi Smooley, and it is Dan Reed, and it's another guy. They don't give me the name. It has 584,000 views. I mean, it has 9 times more than the actual documentary has as far as views. All right. There you go. All right. So, so what they were saying is giving their opinion, and this was released right before Leaving Neverland 2 came out. So it's supposed to be a promotion for Leaving Neverland 2, right? So, Rabbi Smooley, he waits to talk. He doesn't really listen. He waits to talk. He waits his turn to talk, and he doesn't have very good patience. He was with Michael from like 2001 to 2002, okay, somewhere in there. And he wrote the book, The Michael Jackson Tapes, and he said he recorded 30 hours of conversation. He does not believe Michael is a pedophile. I read his book, okay. He thinks Michael is dead, okay, because he won't listen. You can't, somebody who's dogmatic and think they know everything, you can't tell him anything, right? So he was going on about Michael and drugs. Michael drug addict, drug, right? And finally at the end, Bill Whitfield, who was with Michael from 2006 to 2008, right, said, I never saw Michael on drugs. I never saw any drugs around Michael. I am an ex-police officer. I am a father. I'm a security guard. I was looking to see if Michael was a pedophile. Saw nothing. And Michael was not on drugs during that time. Okay? So Piers, when you hear him talk, he's talking about, you know, at least 7 years before the death announcement. His interaction with Michael was 7 years before the death announcement, right? The book came out shortly after the death announcement. Michael Jackson tapes, the Elvis tapes about Elvis faking his death. Okay? Rabbi Smooley didn't know that Michael was setting him up. Had no idea. Okay? I like that he said that. They also talked about that it was sleeping in the bed with children. it wasn't like they're sleeping next to each other, like one of them said, Michael spooning and all this other stuff. No, they would just fall asleep. They would play, and you fall asleep while you're watching a movie. It was one of those things. It was a slumber party, sleepovers, right? Sleepovers. So poor Michael did not, Bill said that most people who think Michael put bedroom and kids and adult together, their perverted minds are the ones thinking sexual. If you have like me, I can sleep in the bed with kids every day of my life. It never, ever, ever, ever have an inkling of sexuality. Never even, it is not even a thought in my head. Okay? Because you're just enjoying the company of children. And a lot of people enjoy the company of children because children can be very funny and very fun and very innocent, and they could be very relaxing, especially when Michael has a high pressure career. Okay? So there were a couple of things. Rabbi Smooley, he said something at 1845. Let me go here. 1845. So let me get to
shop
the
right
sponsor.
here in Woodland Hills. Inside this workshop,
Here we
he was somebody who was going to war with the record label.
1845. That's what I have here. 18 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, let's listen. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. And I don't know why he's supposed to be a Michael Jackson. He wanted to talk more about R. Kelly and what happened with R. Kelly than Michael Jackson. All he wanted to say is the parents' fault, which is true. But that was his whole thing. But that's not what the subject is right now. Okay.
Unanimously by a jury. I was there that night. Michael brought them. He barely knew them. He brought them to show me.
They're talking about the Arvizo family who accused Michael of molestation for the 2005 trial. Okay.
All the good that he does, and he kind of neglected them. Now, did the relationship kind of evolve after that?
Here, hold on.
2003 trial, and now the 20th anniversary of his acquittal. And he was acquitted within 1 hour.
He was not.
National Stadium in Kigali. There was grace. There were so many respectable people. But I want to make one thing absolutely clear. The first night that the Arvizos, this is the 2003 trial. And
it's 2005. Get your facts right.
Now the 20th anniversary of his acquittal. And he was acquitted within 1 hour.
He was not acquitted within 1 hour. The jury deliberated for 7 days. Okay? So, and he wasn't there. I was there. I was in the courtroom. Okay? Why am I being neglected? Okay? And no one can bring me any proof that Michael Joe Jackson is dead. No one. It doesn't exist because his name is not Michael Joseph Jackson. And according to the bylaws and the policies of the Department of Public Health, you cannot use an assumed name or an AKA name on an official death certificate. Okay, you have to use their legal name. On a death certificate, you have to use their legal name. Okay? So, and even the CDC said you have to use their legal name. And there, somebody said, oh, maybe there was a name change. Maybe, whatever. Okay, that's not a fact. That's just a thought. Okay? It wouldn't matter even if Michael had a name change because an autopsy, get this, guys, says the body was named and identified via a California driver's license. That is the only form of identification that said that that body was Michael. Was according to the coroner and according to the medical examiner, and according to the county of Los Angeles, this is inherently defective. Okay? They said the body was named and identified through a California driver's license. There is no California driver's license in the name of Michael Joseph Jackson. All of them are in the name of Michael Joe Jackson. Why haven't the Jacksons fixed it in over 15 years, right? They have not fixed that name, right? And not only have they not fixed that name, they have allowed this to continue this whole time, okay? So inherently defective means at the beginning, plus Joe and Katherine, who were the next of kin, okay, because minors don't count. They were the next of kin. They were responsible. They didn't even bother to look at that dead body, and they said it on camera. Okay, so the whole thing about Michael Joe Jackson being dead is all inherently defective from the very, very, very beginning, and it has not been fixed to this day. And you guys who have watched my Alive docuseries know it's not just that, but those are huge. There's more and more and more facts and more and more and more and more and more and more and more. No name on the grave, as far as the last time that anybody's, took a photo inside a forest line, right? So, I'm working on something. I just can't tell y'all about it right now, but I'm working on something because I feel like I've been blacklisted and I'm the only one telling the truth. And I know more than all these people that Piers Morgan, I like Piers Brosnan, he's a great actor. Piers Morgan had on his show. Okay? I deserve to be up there more than any of them do, except for Bill Whitfield and Rabbi Smooly. I get. Dan Gree doesn't know anything. Okay? This other guy, I don't know who he is, but, he thinks Michael's innocent, but he said, I wasn't there, I don't know. He wanted to be impartial. I'm going to tell you, someone who sat and listened to the testimony in 2005 trial and who has researched Michael all these years, okay, there's nothing but words coming out of their mouth. Then they said, oh, it's not for money, it's not an extortion. Well, what you want then? What do you want? For people to go, oh, you were molested, poor you? Is that what you want? Is that what you're after? Just poor you, poor Wade, poor James? No, you're not fighting this battle, because you telling your story to Matt Lauer could have been poor Wade, and James telling his story could have been poor James, right? But they've done this for 12 years, since 2013. James came in later when Wade said, oh, y'all oxen free, any other kids molested? Come on. Okay, and then I've heard that other ones have said, well, since Michael's dead, maybe I'll just go get me a quick little 100,000 or a quick little money and just lie and say it too, right? Because they want a quick payday, right? They want a quick payday. They want money to buy a Mercedes and to live in a nice house and to go on great vacations and have dinner in fancy places without working for it, okay? They want to take advantage of the fact that Michael knew them and trusted them and liked them as friends and thought they were friends. Michael had a very, very bad judgment of character. And we know that because of people's behaviors that have, they've shown their true stripes. They were wolves in sheep's clothing. All right. So anyway, I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. So the Michael biopic is probably going to be split up into two. It's rumors right now. It's not confirmed, but I can understand that. And they need to put Janet in it. Okay? I had posted a picture of, it was AI, but it was good. It was Katherine, LaToya, and Janet. And it had the singer-actress that played the Little Mermaid, Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry, Halle Bailey, Halle Berry, whatever her name is, Bailey is her name. And she has come out and said that no, she has not been hired to play Janet. Janet's character does not appear in the list of the Internet Movie Database. I checked a couple days ago. It might change. But why on earth wouldn't Janet be in it? Janet can't say, don't put me in it, and they have to listen. It's a true story. You can say whatever you want. You don't need Janet's permission to have her and Katherine in a car driving to the to audition for Good Times. It could be them rehearsing for the Jacksons' special, their TV show in Las Vegas. They could have Janet and Michael in Scream. Scream might have been afterwards, but Janet could have just been around the house. I don't know why on earth that Michael wouldn't want Janet's to get Janet's fans to come and watch the movie. you know, Janet's a part of the family. Janet has a huge fan base. So they better put Janet in the movie. Okay? They better put Janet in the movie. Janet can bring a whole new audience to the movie. Okay? A whole new level of excitement, a whole new level of enthusiasm. But maybe they're saving that announcement for later. I don't know. But Janet's character does not appear in the cast of the Michael biopic. So we wait for more news. So you guys don't have to watch Leaving Neverland 2. It's a nothing burger. Okay? So I will talk to you guys later. I think that's about it. But love you all, but I gotta go. Okay, bye-bye.